So during the battle or after the battle, it was a lot of rhetoric about Kendrick putting people on. I remember that. It was people was trying to convince me how many people Drake put on, and it was, oh, Drake put on this many people. And I'm like, Drake really didn't put on anybody. That's not to say Drake hasn't done a record with people, but that's not putting them on.
He put a couple people on.
No, not one person.
Put The Weeknd on.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
No.
I ain't know about The Weeknd before Drake.
On because you feature somebody talented on your thing. You put somebody on when you make it their business, when you make it your business for the world to discover them.
I didn't know about The Weeknd before Drake.
That doesn't mean you put them on. Just because you discover something from somebody don't mean
you give them love.
All
right, go ahead.
All right, you don't put people on.
All right.
And I remember there was a bunch of stuff people saying that. And I just want people to notice what Kendrick is doing with Baby King.
His cousin.
Who else put their cousin on like that?
I don't know. I don't know too many family ties.
I'm sure all these rappers have cousins.
I don't know too many family ties. I don't know.
I'm sure rappers have cousins.
It is awesome what he's doing though.
That's all. We can say that.
The way he's doing it though too is super fly.
That's what I'm saying. He's making it his business for his audience and people that follow him to see who Keem is.
Yeah. That's because he's dope. That's because Keem is dope. Because once he throws in the rock, it's like Keem is able to just hit him with a 360 windmill. You know what I'm saying? On the baseline. Like, because Keem is dope. Like, that whole footage they put out, though, that little short documentary they put out, that shit is fire.
Think about it, right? You in the prime, you already did this on your first project. Right? But then you double back and you really doubling down like, nah, let me stand next to you. Let me participate. Let me be all in the mix hard so people can see you. Right? And it's something like Drake did for Party, right? To some degree. And then kind of like, but even not as much with force. Like he's forcefully, like Keem got his own talent, but he's forcefully making it his business for us to discover Keem or people who never heard of Keem to discover Keem. Like that, the job he's doing is dope. Shout out to everybody who's seen the documentary, the mini doc. That shit is dope, bro.
Dope, super dope. Giving them a story too. Telling the story about him. It's super dope.
Shout out to Fatima Carlisle, makes a great point. What Kendrick is doing with Baby Keem is how J. Cole should have handled JID. I didn't want to say nothing.
I never liked the way he handled the JID shit. I feel like JID was so dope, but then at the same time, I feel like he did I don't know. I think he did a good artist development, but at the same time, he didn't do like everything I feel like JID got, he got on his own. Wasn't within like.
I mean, I think Cole helped him, but do you feel like Cole is helping JID the way Kendrick is putting on for Keem?
No, because Kendrick is doing it to a way where Keem is going to still be going even without. Because what happens is some people, if you stand next to somebody, it's like who are they when you're not standing next to them? You know what I'm saying? I think the way that Kendrick is doing it though, Keem is going to be somebody when Kendrick is not. Even all right, Kendrick is on the first single and all that though, but even without that, they still gonna be checking for him though. Then again, I'm thinking about it. I don't know. Cole might have did good when it came to because JID
do you feel like you've seen the same thing with JID and Cole as Keem and Kendrick?
I think you're saying it different. I think it's different, but
I feel like you see as much work. Do you feel like you see him putting his own personal brand involved?
No. JID don't. You don't see no sprinkle of Cole anywhere within JID cloth or anything like that. Like nothing. Like for the most part, it came to the point where you don't even feel like Cole is even associated with JID anyway. So his fans don't really trickle over there like that, like the way it is for Kendrick right now. Kendrick
and I'm
King.
only asking you because you're a real JID fan. Like I know
I'm a JID fan.
Really got into him, but I'm saying you've seen it, and you're seeing what Dot is doing with King. You seen what Drake did with Party.
Nah, Cole not doing that.
That's all I'm saying.
But is it a
But I
bad thing?
remember people had a lot of critique for Kendrick about how he puts on for artists. And I'm like, you see it all the way through, and I'm watching him do it, and I just, man, it reminds me of how Top used to do things, and you know how like vested he is. Even right now in this part of the thing, and it's even when we say it's like, oh, it's his cousin. It's like I ain't never seen nobody do nothing for nobody in the industry like this. That was their cousin or their brother. Maybe the closest is like what Hit Boy did for his dad. Like I think, you know what I mean? And it just makes me smile, bro. Like that dude is still very much somebody that's vested in what he's doing. I saw that too, 2-6. Shout out to Lefty. I know Problem.
The new song?
Morton is really working on it. Yeah, it's dope.
Yeah, I heard the new song. It's dope.
Yeah, they
2-6 in there? What up, 2-6?
Yeah, I like it a lot. What's crazy is, again, a buddy of mine's put Lefty on, right? A guy that came up through our university, my homeboy Solis. He run the label that Lefty is signed to. It's one of my Korean partners. He a cold loc, so it's my boy. You know what I mean? And he always tell people, man, Glasses put me on and shit. But he was somebody that I just educated, and he was hella dope. So I'm really proud of Soulless. Like I'm happy for Lefty because he one of them dudes that's, you know, in the streets and here hip hop hip hop go again trying to save somebody from the streets life. You know what I mean? Because trust me, hip hop may save Lefty's life because without hip hop, Lefty will probably be in a lot of trouble, bro. Lefty could be in prison for life. Lefty could, you know, die. Like this may save Lefty's life, like it saved my life. That's also why I protect hip hop that way, Trap. That's why I protect it that way. But I just want to make sure we revisited that because everybody made it like a big deal when I kept saying, like, I think Kendrick does a really great job of putting people on when he's going to put somebody on. But I think also he doesn't take the task lightly. So he's not signing a bunch of artists. You know what I'm saying? Like he's focused on what he's doing, and I think that's amazing. Maz, what up?
What happened?
No, go ahead.
You think he could possibly, at one point? Cause I know, like last week you were saying a couple weeks ago you were saying the opportunity that Game missed out on at one point.
Hell yeah, Chuck. But yeah, Chuck had that opportunity with all of us.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But Chuck I think Chuck was really born to be a rapper.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he ever got into the concept of being like into the business to that degree outside of being in the business of himself. And sometimes you just got to accept people are like that. Like I wish Roddy would do the same thing right now. Like I think it's some really talented people from the Wilmington Arms, from Park Village, Compton Crib, that he could form a group with and really position himself better culturally and also contribute to the rise of that neighborhood. But it takes a lot of selflessness to be in hip hop. That's why I always say hip hop is the movement of we. You know what I mean? It's us. You know what I mean? It's an experience of this niche group of people from this street urban cultural lifestyle and background where Jay-Z is the quintessential D-boy and Snoop is the quintessential Crip and Cube is the quintessential street nigga that was thugging and Chuck D and them is the guys that was in the streets into the politics. And you know, you always have that thing. So I just I don't know if it's for everybody, but I'm really proud at the job that and you can't blame every rapper. Like I know it's easy. Like I hear people ask me if certain people are jealous. I'm like, I just don't think that business is into everybody. I don't think people want to be executives. I just don't think it's in people. I mean, some people don't want somebody else to work their spot. They want to work their spot their whole life. You know what I mean? They don't want nobody else working their spot. I came up under some cold D-boys that they wanted somebody else to work their spot. You know what I mean? So I don't think it's nothing to take personal. You know what I mean? But I think they are missing out on some, some
opportunities.
Not just making money, but like,
or just saying, being able to put somebody else on.
Pouring back into the community, giving somebody else the chance, because a lot of people get mad, like nobody gave me the chance. But that's why it's like when you see somebody raise their kid and then they be a crappy dad like they dad, or you see the men who decide like, no, I'm gonna be a way better father than my dad was. You know what I mean? So I think it's up to us to keep pouring back into each other and giving each other opportunities, even if nobody gave us an opportunity. That's my opinion, but whatever is whatever.